Hello and welcome to EarthenLaberintoPodcast Ep.1. I'm Gabriella and I am a knitter here in Henrico County, Virginia. So go ahead and get yourself a nice beverage of choice and a project if you've got one, because I have a lot to share with you guys. Okay, so I would like to start off with sharing a little bit about myself. I am a mother of two and I homeschool my boys. I am an avid gardener and practicing herbalist. I have a lot of different interests, but fiber related wise, I am a weaver, crocheter, knitter, felter, both wet and needle felting. And I am a spinner and yarn dyer, both with acid and natural dyes. Okay, so with that said, who first introduced me to all of this amazing fibery goodness is all thanks to my grandmother. She was a avid crocheter. I mean amazing crocheter, for real. She would make outfits, baby outfits, adult ponchos, king size Afghans, and slippers. I mean, she could do it all. And they were beautiful. I loved them. We still have them. So that's just going to show that some of these items, you know, they are here for not just you, but even for the people that you love to enjoy them as well. Um, she taught me when I was 6 how to crochet. She taught me first with how to chain and then moved on to single crochet, double crochet, and half double crochet. And as I got older, I sort of let that go to the wayside, whatever life was going on at that time. And I didn't pick up my needle or hook, I should say, until I got pregnant with my first child. And I started thinking, you know what? I would love for him to have a blanket. So I looked online, found a beautiful pattern for a granny square Afghan blanket, and I decided to go to my local yarn shop and pick out some yarn. When my grandmother was teaching me, we used Lionheart brand yarn, and it's really easily available, extremely affordable, but I wanted something extra special, something I didn't know at the time what exactly I was looking for, but when I went to this local yarn shop, I definitely found what I was looking for. And I went to a place that is near and dear to my heart, and I still love this place. It is called Four Pearls Yarn Shop, and it is in Winter Haven, Florida. And when I walked in, it was just eye candy, yarn everywhere, floor to ceiling. And there was a beautiful little area where people could sit down and conversate and knit. And some people were knitting and crocheting while I was there. So I'm walking around and I'm just blown away by the options. So many options, so many different styles of yarn. You had your art yarn, you had your lace. I mean, different weights, like lace weight, worsted weight, DK, chunky, bulky, yada, 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 right? And then you had different brands and then colors, tonal, speckles, indie dyed. I was so out of place, but luckily Laura, who is the yarn shop owner, approached me and really helped me find what I needed for the pattern that I had. And I ended up going home with everything to crochet this amazing blanket. And so I did. Went home and I started right away. And I loved every second of it. I loved it. It was such a great feeling to start from just string, basically, and end up with an item that I could wrap my baby in. And I just imagined, him or her handing it over to their son or daughter as well. So, I mean, I was, off in my own little fairy tale of, oh, this little blanket. And, that's totally fine. um, but yeah, so when that happened, I found out that yarn and actually being able to create things with yarn is not cheap. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and spin it myself. I bet you I can. And I thought, of course, that I would be able to save money. Totally false. Trust me. But it was fun and I loved it. And I ended up using a drop spindle for about 2 years. And that led to me purchasing my first and only wheel, the Blue Bonnet Honeybee wheel. And I love it. It's beautiful. It's made out of wood. Unfortunately, the makers of that wheel are no longer crafting them anymore. I believe they're retired now. So if anything happens to it, I'm kind of on my own. But with that said, I have only had to replace one part, and that has been it. So far so good. Knock on wood, because I love my wheel and I love spinning, and I would hate for anything to happen to it because I would be very upset. Let's start moving on to what I'm actually here for, and I should say what you guys are here for, and that is my knitting. What I'm wearing. Let's start with that, because I know you guys probably already know what this is, probably seen it more than once. It is the Pure Mesh Pullover by James and Watts. And it is a very awesome, very interesting construction, because I've never made anything like this where you make pieces and then kind of, attach them together and then continue with more work. It was pretty cool because, yes, it was very fast to knit up because the stitch was very easy and I could remember, and there's only like 18 stitches that you cast on for the front half basically. And, it went by pretty quick. I actually casted it on in the car. And yeah, and plus the yarn was really awesome. It's by Emma's Yarns. And it is in her Hella Hank in the colorway Turtle Haven. I love it. My husband actually picked it out. He wanted something very, Florida-esque, because that's where we were at. And so, yeah, it's a pretty good pattern and it's beautiful yarn. I did a twisted rib I believe it's a 2x2. No, it's a 1x1. But yeah, it's not bad at all. Twisted rib. And then it's also a twisted rib. Oop, let me get my hair out of the way. On the neck. Oh gosh, and then it gets dark. There we go. Right there on the neck. And it's actually like a crop length, but I'm sure you could like extend it and stuff. But since this was my first time trying it, I just, kind of went with the pattern on what it said. I actually did drop a stitch. And so like the bottom half of the front panel is a large and the top half ended up being a medium. How? I don't know. But I made it work and it fits fine, like under things and over things, and exactly how I wanted it anyways. So I was not going to pull things back and try to figure that out because yeah, no. I believe you use a US 11 hook. Yeah. So yeah, it is a bottom up pattern. So you start from the bottom, you go up, and then you go ahead and you attach here at the shoulders, and then you go on with the arms. So yeah, that's all I can really say about this. I love it. I'm definitely gonna make more of it, hopefully. So yeah, my notes are over here, so I do apologize. I don't know if I already said that. Probably did. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and start with my only work in progress, and that is Into the Woods socks. Let me see if I can get the other ball. And this is a pattern by Melody Hoffmann. So far, this is what I got. Isn't it cute? Little tree motif. So squishy. I love it. This is a really neat cuff down, obviously, construction. I am using 6 and 7 fiber yarn in Swan Song as the main color. I love this. I love this yarn because it definitely reminds me of my Welsh Harlequin ducks, their feathers. Oh, beautiful. I love it. And then the second yarn I'm using is Jamieson and Smith in Moss Green. And both of them are... Actually, I think this one is 100% Shetland. And this one is a superwash and nylon blend, I think. But yeah, so that is my only work in progress for now. My other work in progress is actually spinning, and it is a colt's wool. I'll show you some locks in case you guys are interested to see what it looks like. Very curly, very beautiful, very lustrous. And I've been using my combs, and I comb it into this floof. I've wrapped it around itself so that. But look at that. Isn't that awesome? Oh, love it. And I'm spinning that on my blue bonnet as a worsted weight yarn. Moving on to finished items, because I do have 2 finished items. I have this 2x2 ribbed hat. This is done in Patton's worsted. I love it. So squishy. It is in the colorway Bright Red. And I actually, yeah, see, it's not too bad. I knit this up for my dad, and he is an extremely knit-worthy person. He's always so proud of everything that I do and is like my biggest cheerleader, so to speak. From my urban backyard and my beekeeping and everything. Sorry, I had to move this around a little bit. Starting to get a little dark in here. And so yeah, I decided to go ahead and knit him up a hat, and I hope that he loves it. It's his favorite color, so fingers crossed that he enjoys it. Oh my gosh, so before I forget, I do have another work in progress. And I just noticed because I looked down and it is right here. Let me show it to you guys. I'm sure there are a few of these floating around. There was a craze at one point. Oh yeah. Hexie Puff Bliss. Yes, I am doing the Beekeepers quilt by Tiny Owl Knits. Look, here's another one. Okay, so this one that I was showing you is 6 and 7 Fiber Co. in the colorway Butternut. This one is Woolberry. Into the Woods is what it's called. Kind of like the sock that I'm making. It was a Into the Woods sock set. Love it. Squishy. This is a Big Little Yarn Co. in her colorway Nori. And this one is so fun. I got this one last year. And this is from Lavender Loon Christmas Tree Farm. It's the sparkly one. I don't know if you can... Yeah, see? So cute. And then this one is from... Let me see. Dragon Horde Yarns in her colorway High Lady. Beautiful. So yeah, this is going to be an ongoing project. I don't know how long it's going to take me because I probably want it to be big enough to cover us up while we are in our queen size bed. And it's totally fine if it takes me years. That's fine with me. I mean, if anything has shown you anything about me is that I am not in a rush. I am totally down for crafting it and doing it right. And they are all stuffed with actual wool. And this pattern is really simple, very fast. And what I love about it is that she has a lot of different videos and tutorials, and she even has a couple like double stitch patterns, like flower patterns for the surface that you can add to it. Which, if you think about that, possibilities are endless with what you can do with the Hexie Puff. And so I've decided to go ahead and use any scraps from any indie dye, indie dyer yarns, or even my own fingering weight yarns that I decide to do, and do my little Hexie Poofs. And that is my only other current work in progress. Now back to my finished item. My last finished item, I'm starting to get a little ahead of myself there, is My Little Secret Crop by Jessie Maed Designs. And it looks like this. Pretty, squishy and stretchy. And I know it's not really showing up. It's more of like a lavendery, mauvey sort of color, like on the grayscale for sure. You can't really appreciate it on the video, but trust me, it is beautiful. And believe it or not, there are 2 different yarns here because I ran out. So the bottom half of it is made in Woolen Vine, Winter Solstice in Valaris in her footsie base. And then this top part is made in one of Emma's, I think it's called Almost Perfect Sock Yarn or something. Let me see. Yeah. It is it's Practically Perfect Sock Yarn in Mind Your Business. And what I did is that I actually sort of did 1 row with the Woolen Vine, 1 row with Emma's, and then I kind of mixed it up a little bit towards the top and then just finished it off in the Emma's. And you can't really even tell at all. Again, I did a twisted rib there at the top. And what I love about this is the I-cord right here. It's been like my first time really working with I-cord in a like actual garment. This one and her other design that I did with my natural dyed skeins. And I love it. I'm in love. I love it. I've worn this already before, so. And it's definitely something I'm going to like continue to wear, especially as it's getting hotter here in Virginia. Here is her yarn that I have left over. Ooh, some of my own hair there. See? And then this one was the Woolen Vine. They're very similar. And again, I got this one, Emma's, over there in Florida at 4 Pearls. And I showed Laura the Woolen Vine one, and she showed me this one, and she's like, there you go. And thank you so much, Laura, because it definitely worked, and I love it, and it turned out amazing. So happy with it. And I guess that is really it that I have for today. I hope that you guys are well and that you enjoyed listening to me ramble on and stumble over myself as I try to share a little bit of what I enjoy doing. And hopefully I pluck up the courage to continue to do more of these videos and I fix this crazy in and out dimmy light situation. But yeah, I really hope that you guys have a good week and that you're making progress in anything that you guys are deciding to work on. And, just stay healthy, try to be in the moment and love each other and treat the earth kindly, please. And I hope to see you guys again soon. All right. Bye. And thank you.